In this video, I'm giving you a direct roadmap to achieving financial freedom in the shortest time possible. No detours, no fluff. Let's jump right in. Step 1 is to discover your freedom number. This is the amount of money you need invested to live your life without ever depending on a paycheck again. When invested correctly, this amount generates enough passive income to sustain your lifestyle indefinitely. Now, there's no universal formula, because financial freedom means different things to different people. For some, it's a luxury car and world travel. For others, it's simply living peacefully, free from debt, with total financial security. Naturally, the more luxurious your desired lifestyle, the more challenging it will be to achieve. Personally, I've always prioritized financial security over showing off. This gives me independence, peace of mind during emergencies, and the ability to enjoy special moments without going into debt. I prefer a simple car and a regular house, but with the security of knowing that I'm not drowning in bills. I only upgrade my standard of living when it's truly necessary, and I invest the majority of what I earn. But that's what works for me. You need to find what makes sense for your reality. To calculate your freedom number, you need to estimate your ideal annual living costs. Let's imagine a single 30-year-old who wants a comfortable life in a city with a good quality of life. Based on common goals for that age, we can realistically estimate their annual costs. First, housing. Living in a desirable city with good infrastructure, the rent for a one-bedroom apartment could average $2,600 a month, or $31,200 per year. Second, a car. For many, a car is essential for mobility and freedom, but it's also a major expense. Including payments, insurance, fuel, and maintenance, the average cost can reach $2,000 a month or $24,000 per year. Third, travel. Experiences are essential for a balanced life. Let's budget for 2 domestic trips and 1 international trip per year. This could realistically add up to an annual travel expense of about $11,000. Fourth, fixed expenses. This includes utilities like electricity, water, internet, and your cell phone. On average, these expenses add up to $700 a month or $8,400 per year. Fifth, food. A comfortable food budget includes groceries, delivery, and dining out. For a single person, this could average $1,300 a month or $15,600 per year. And sixth, leisure. Maintaining a social life is key to well-being. This includes the gym, streaming services, outings with friends, hobbies, and occasional shopping. A reasonable budget here might be $750 a month or $9,000 per year. So what's the annual total? Adding all this up, our 30-year-old would need approximately $99,200 per year, or about $8,266 per month, for a comfortable and balanced lifestyle. Now we get to the most important calculation in this entire process. The logic is simple. Take your ideal annual expenses and multiply that number by 25. This is the famous rule of 25. What does this mean in practice? This rule shows you how much you need to have invested to safely withdraw 4% each year to live on, while keeping your principal investment intact. Let's go back to our example. If your annual expenses are $99,200, you multiply that by 25, which gives us a freedom number of approximately $2,480,000. The best way to think about this is the goose that lays the golden eggs. You never sell the goose, you just live off the eggs it produces. In other words, you only use the investment returns, without ever touching the principal. And as long as your investments generate returns higher than 4% per year, you can maintain this cycle indefinitely, without the risk of running out of money. I know, looking at a number like that can feel impossible. That's why the second step is to hack your life. Step 2. Hack your life. This is where you find smart ways to reach your goal faster. We often spend far more than we realize on things that don't truly add value to our lives. And relax, I'm not going to tell you to cut out your daily coffee. I want to show you how you can continue to live well, but in a much more strategic way. A perfect example is the car. It can easily be your biggest expense. Social media makes it seem like everyone drives a luxury model. But the reality is that many people are financing those cars with crippling payments just to maintain an image. In 1 year, the financing alone can cost tens of thousands of dollars. The result is that millions of people end up in debt just to keep a car parked in the garage. So here's my direct advice. Do not fall into that trap. A much smarter alternative is to hack the car. Choose a reliable used vehicle that has already gone through its steepest depreciation phase, but still perfectly meets your needs. This single choice can save you thousands of dollars a year, a much bigger impact than skipping coffee. Another example is branded products. Supermarkets place nearly identical versions of products side by side at very different prices. Often, the only difference is the packaging or the brand name. Making smarter choices month after month can save you thousands over the years. The same principle applies to housing. Many people take on massive mortgages for homes that are much larger than they need, thinking it's a sign of success. But in reality, they spend their lives working just to maintain a house. Others pay inflated rent just to live in a trendy neighborhood, when they could live just as comfortably in a nearby area for much less. And finally, there's the art of negotiation. Almost everything is negotiable. Rent, gym memberships, internet packages, even large purchases. People who have the confidence to ask for discounts and compare prices save far more than those who just accept the first offer. Step 3. Use credit cards wisely. The third step is to use your credit card wisely. Many people see credit cards as a debt trap, and honestly, if you lack discipline, they can be. But when managed correctly, a credit card becomes one of your best tools for building a strong financial history. Your credit score is like your financial reputation. A high score gives you access to loans and mortgages with lower interest rates, which can save you an enormous amount of money over your lifetime. Imagine you decide to buy your first home. If you've used your card responsibly, always paying the bill in full, you will qualify for much more favorable rates. Those who ignore this end up paying thousands more in interest or getting rejected entirely. So, use your card as an ally. Always pay it on time, and never spend more than you can pay off. Step 4. Create additional income sources. Step 4 is to create additional sources of income. If you only depend on your job, your entire financial life is balancing on one leg. A single unforeseen event, a layoff, a health crisis, can make it all come crashing down. Stable, lifelong jobs are becoming a thing of the past. That's why adding new income sources is essential. This could be a side project, freelance work, affiliate marketing, or even providing local services. The goal is to generate value, learn as you go, and continuously evolve. But the biggest obstacle isn't a lack of opportunity, it's the excuses. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't know where to start. The truth is, in a 168-hour week, even after you account for work, sleep, and meals, most of us still have over 40 hours of free time. What's often missing isn't time, but the discipline to use it productively. Step 5. Make your money work for you. The fifth and final stage is using money for its true purpose. Those with low incomes often see money only as a way to pay bills. The middle class often sees it as a tool for credit, to buy bigger houses and nicer cars. The wealthy, however, understand that the primary purpose of money is expansion, using it to generate more money. This means investing and building passive income streams. This is the point where you make your money work for you. There are several ways to do this. Stocks allow you to become a part owner in successful companies. You don't need to watch the market every day. You simply need to invest in solid, established companies with a history of consistent profits. Another great option is real estate investment trusts, REITs, which let you invest in large properties without buying one yourself. They often pay out monthly dividends, like rent, without the headaches of being a landlord. Cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin, have also emerged as an alternative. Unlike REITs, Bitcoin doesn't generate monthly income. Instead, it's considered a scarce asset, often compared to digital gold. Since only 21 million will ever exist, its potential for appreciation is tied to its scarcity. However, be cautious. It is an extremely volatile market. The standard recommendation is to invest only a small portion of your assets that you are willing to lose. And of course, traditional real estate remains one of the most popular ways to build wealth. While it requires more initial capital, owning rental properties can be highly profitable and a reliable source of passive income. Ultimately, the secret to financial freedom isn't about cutting small daily pleasures. It's about learning how to multiply the resources you already have. Money should be a tool for building your future, not just a means of consumption. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Remember, the small financial changes you make today can completely transform your tomorrow.